Hello, I'm Carolyn Herbert for the Finance News Network, and joining me from gold exploration and development company Gascoyne Resources is its Managing Director Mike Dunbar. Mike, welcome to FNN.
Great, thanks very much, nice to be here.
Mike, could you start by giving us an introduction to Gascoyne Resources?
Absolutely. Gascoyne is a West Australian focused gold exploration and development company with three main assets and projects in Western Australia. We've got the Glen Berg Gold project, which is a plus 1 million ounce gold resource inland from Carnarvon, and the Dalgaranga Gold project, which is 750,000 ounces inland from Geraldton, around 70 kilometres from Mount Magnet in Western Australia.
And can you tell us about your portfolio, its potential and the stage of development?
Absolutely. I'll spend most of the time talking about the Dalgaranga Gold project. That's our flagship. We've got 750,000 ounces, as I mentioned there. We're going through a pre-feasibility study at the moment. We finished a scoping study in June of this year, which showed that there was potential for 60,000 ounces of production for between 6 and 10 years. And our exploration since then has shown that there's potential to increase that to closer to 80 to 100,000 ounces for around 6 to 7 years. That's our starting point. That will provide the cash flow, high margin asset that will provide the cash flow to then allow us to grow our projects and move into the development of Glen Berg as well.
Now, looking at your 80% interest in the Dalgaranga Gold project, what's that expected to deliver in terms of gold quantities?
Yeah, around the scoping study suggested up to 600,000 ounces of gold would be produced out of the project. Now, the pre-feasibility that we're working on at the moment, we'll see exactly what the production profile looks like, but we're aiming at around 80 to 100,000 ounces from that project, and then we'll build on that through development of the Glen Berg project. But that development will happen out of the cash generated from Dalgaranga.
And what's currently taking place, and what's the priority for the next 6 months?
Yeah, good question. We've just completed a capital raising, and so what we're aiming at doing now is completing the pre-feasibility study for Dalgaranga, and then on top of that, a massive exploration push. None of our projects has really had a big exploration push since the mid-1990s, and so there's a massive amount of exploration potential that really just has been completely forgotten. And so what we're wanting to do is aggressively continue that exploration push, but also the study and development studies on both projects as well.
And now to your other near-term development project, Glen Berg. What does it contain, and what do you know of the economics so far?
Yeah, Glen Berg contains a JORC resource of over 1 million ounces. We've already completed a pre-feasibility study on that, and it's got over 4 years of life at 73,000 ounces per annum so far, and costs of under $1,000 an ounce. So, yeah, very economic, but that's really only the start as well. That project will become a multi-million ounce system. It's just a matter of putting the exploration dollars into the ground to really see that exploration potential evaluated fully.
Now, the company recently completed a heavily oversubscribed $2.5 million placement. Where will the funds be used?
Yeah, we'll be splitting the funds predominantly at Dalgaranga, and it will be spent on exploration, a large chunk of exploration funding, because we've got so much exploration potential that has not been evaluated. And on top of that, we'll be doing pre-feasibility studies for the project as well, and we're aiming for that to be finished in the first quarter of next year. So we're aggressively exploring as well as completing the development studies that we want to complete.
Now, taking a look at the price of gold, it has made a recovery over the last couple of months, but what are you expecting going forward? And in Aussie dollar terms, where is the price now compared to a few years ago?
The price has recovered in recent times in US dollars, but probably more importantly in Australian dollars, because we are in Australia and can sell our gold in Australian dollars. $1,600 gold price now is fantastic. It's come off where it was from its peaks, but it's still incredibly strong, and the margins that you can generate from assets, and this is what the producers are now highlighting, the margins that gold projects can develop and produce really are absolutely fantastic. And so really what we're wanting to do is get into production, and even if it sits at the current levels, it's fantastic. It's great margin business, and I expect it will increase, but even if it doesn't increase, the projects are still very, very viable at these levels.
And finally, Mike, where would you like to see the company 12 months from now?
Yeah, within 12 months, we want to have the development studies finished at Dalgaranga. I'd like to be in a position to be talking about having completed financing on the development, but we have to wait and see on that front. But also a massive exploration push. I think we'll see a massive amount of the untapped potential of our assets identified, and I think we'll start seeing that reflect the share price performance, and also getting the Gascoyne story out there. We've been flying under the radar now for far too long, and getting the story out there to the wider community I think is important, and I think the news flow will do that.
Mike Dunbar, thanks for the update on Gascoyne Resources.
Fantastic, thanks very much for your time.